Listen, if I have to say goodbye, I am truly honored that this fine gentleman is my final interview. Please welcome back to the show, Joe Rogan, everybody.
Hey! How are you? Good. What's up? What's going on?
Oh, not much. Just signing off in a couple minutes.
This is it, huh?
This kept me up more than anything else last night. I mean,
doing the show?
From sleep, not. Yeah, I was filled with anxiety over like, well, what am I? Because. You have been such an inspiration to me with your career, and you really showed that you can be who
That's
you
ridiculous.
are. No, yes, it is, but it's true.
Thank you, though.
Because I've always maintained that, if being who I am openly and honestly gets in the way of me having a job, then it's not the right job for me. But thinking that and saying that and actually living that are two very different things, and you showed me that you can do that. You are so open and so honest, and you're unabashedly, unapologetically who you are, and people love you for it. That's not a question, by the way. This is a terrible interview already. I just wanted to know. I
pulled it off. I got lucky. It might not work for you.
It probably won't. Not much has yet.
I would never offer it as advice, but it's the only way I knew how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, was there a period where that wasn't the way you were? Like you were, there was a facade. You were putting on a bit of a show so that you could get jobs. Or that
no, luckily, I never wanted to be anything other than a stand-up comic. So I always had that. And sort of everything else was just sort of a side job. So acting was just a goof, and then it paid a lot of money.
That was a goof as well. That was just for fun.
Yeah, it was all like stuff that I really didn't mind if it went away because I was always a comedian. So I never treated it like it was the Holy Grail or like said, oh wow, I'm here now. I have to protect this and let me guard my image and hire a publicist and watch everything I say.
Right.
I didn't really worry about it.
And you don't think because. I wonder if that image gets in the way sometimes. Because when you're coming on, everybody's like, oh, man, what do you got Joe Rogan coming on? Is he going to come out, bless you, Candace? Is he going to come on out with like a 6-foot-tall vaporizer and you guys are just going to rip and get going? And I'm like, no, we're going to snort bath salts and gnaw on each other's faces. That's what you do.
That bath salt's not good, huh?
It's wild,
Is that what
right?
happens? Yeah.
You heard about that.
I did hear about that.
Now, I hear about that and I go, okay, clearly I am not for the gnawing of faces. I'm against that. Believe it or not, I am not for that. But then when I hear the regulators clamp down and say, okay, but now we're going to try to ban anything and everything known to man, there's going to be such an overcorrection. I think the war on drugs is just going to get another uptick.
Well, the real issue is the fact that they can take a drug and just add a molecule to it, and that drug is no longer illegal.
Right.
And so a really dangerous drug like crystal meth, you add a molecule to it, and you can sell it at a corner
Adorable
store.
meth. Now it's just so pretty. A little carbon, a little hydrogen.
Yeah, it's a little weird. But, there's a lot more dangerous drugs out there that are legal. So they need to concentrate on the prescription drugs that are getting into high schools and kids are snorting on a regular basis now. That's the real dangerous stuff. But instead, they don't go after that because the pharmaceutical companies have the politicians in their back pocket. Right. So what do they go after? They go after pot. Something that's never killed anybody ever. We're living in a stupid world. We live in a Coen Brothers movie. We really do.
Yeah. Do you think we've had the conversation a handful of times, but do you think this will be a year of change? Do you think Obama will make good on his promises to not have any federal enforcement of drug laws or
No, I don't buy that at all. I think because of the internet, change is inevitable. But it will be kicking and screaming. It won't be willing, and it won't be anything where they make concessions to the people and then everyone rejoices in the street because finally the dark hand of oppression has gone away, and the government is actually looking out for the folks now and actually representing the people.
Right.
Corruption is very, very difficult to stop once it's in place and is moving and it has momentum. And it's pretty obvious this government is corrupt as fuck. And there's no changing that. The only way to change it is like meteors, alien attack, something along those lines.
You're praying for those aliens to come down. I've seen your DVR, and it's nothing but ancient aliens. That's all it is. It's that and Mars attacks. You love anything with an alien
Bigfoot
in it.
shows.
Yeah.
There's a few cooking shows
You think they're real? You think they're going to land pretty soon?
No. They're probably already here. They're probably trees and clouds. I mean, if you can come from another planet, why would you be in a stupid metal ship? You have the technology to come here from other galaxies. I don't think you have to be in a ship.
I mean, choose an aspen pine instead.
Yeah, you could be like an air freshener in someone's car.
Just dangling from a rear view.
Well, we're already working on things that cloak people in combat. We're already working on things that show an image of the person, of what's behind the person instead of the
Sure. Where a little camera that projects the imagery. So
and
it
it's
like
on your clothes. The Japanese have already perfected something.
Of course, the Japanese did it. The stalking game is going to go crazy.
Yeah, I just think if there are aliens, why would they, come in big stupid ships and be so obvious? I think it's going to be way creepier than that.
Maybe their home planet is really into the pageantry of things.
I think more likely they enter through the internet and their ideas.
That's very Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
When all the phones start ringing at the same time, that means the aliens have attacked.
Yeah, I think it's more likely a sentient intelligence enters through the internet. That's more likely. I just think alien life is going to be so bizarre. It's going to be way more alien than we're thinking. We're thinking carbon-based life forms, big heads, things that look like us.
We're so uncreative when it comes to conjuring up ideas of aliens. They're all like big-headed sketch things. If you go deep-sea diving, not that I have, but Cameron has, the stuff you see down there is way more bizarre than any art directors created.
Yeah, it's really right up there with like Ridley Scott movies, right? Yeah.
I love that. I realize in this moment how much I'm going to miss this program because we just leapt from confetti cannons and a kangaroo with boxing gloves on to discussing ancient aliens and the form they're going to be in. And I just sort of realized that this is my last Attack interview. And one moment that I've always been impressed, not just one moment, but a series of moments, whenever you're in the ring for UFC, I think you're a brilliant announcer and a brilliant host. But when you're in the ring and someone is going out, like when a Brock Lesnar, this is his last moment in the ring, and he's reduced to tears, he's a juggernaut, and he's saying goodbye, and he's putting up the towel. What goes through your head? Do you realize in that moment, the next 3 sentences I say to this Titan, these are the last he's going to hear in the ring. This is his highlight reel forever. This is him going away. Do you think that? Like, does the gravity of that moment hit you in that way?
I never try to think. I just try to do it justice. I just try to, I just try to think of what it really is to me. It's always an honor to be there. It's an honor to represent the sport in that way. So I just do my best to be honest about the situation. I don't, I think if you can really get paralysis by analysis if you sit around and just think, what does this all mean? Like, what is the impact of what I'm going to say?
Right.
And how long is it going to be around?
It's going to be on YouTube. They're going to tweet, retweet, and Facebook. No, they're not going to MySpace. No one does that. But yeah. Well, I'm going to try to do this this moment, that same service. You truly have been an inspiration. You gave me the guts to sort of chase after everything that I want to do. So I personally appreciate it and professionally admire you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome to hear, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Joe Rogan, everybody. Let's plug something. Where can they see you? What can they do? JoeRogan.net.
Follow me on Twitter. That's it.
Follow Joe on Twitter. Joe Rogan.